Hey guys, we'll get started in just a minute. AR, why don't you try talking?
As you can probably imagine, the game tonight was canceled.
Yeah, I think you told me that. I think it was like Thursday night as I was putting together everything, I think.
Yeah.
Dev, why don't you try talking for a moment?
Barga, 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 barga. I'm actually very sleepy and hungry. I want food.
Yeah, I have leftover pizza when I'm done.
Oh, I have some leftover rice, so I'm gonna make some bacon fried rice after the podcast is over.
Okay. Okay, you guys ready to go?
Yep.
Okay. Welcome to the podcast. We're here to entertain and inform a bit while talking about Digimon. I'm Mark, a run with the will.
I'm AR Pulver, Digimon System Restore.
I'm DevQ, and I'm admin on Wikimon.
It's been a long week every week for a long time, hasn't it?
Yeah, this one was a bad week. This is just... this was a rough one.
Yeah.
I have sleepy bitch disease.
Dev, I've known you for a long time. I'm pretty sure you use that joke every week.
It's not a joke.
I'm sure they have a pill.
Well, it's called like deadly amounts of caffeine, but
That's more of a treatment. It's not a cure.
Yeah. Well, to be fair,
not working in retail would be a cure.
Yeah. I've worked at a movie theater and a comic store, and both of them I flash back and just go, ugh. Just.
I'm glad my retail jobs were short and not particularly annoying.
My movie theater had a coffee shop and a chocolate shop next door. You can imagine how that went based on which manager was on duty and if they wanted stuff to be allowed in or not. So, yeah.
Yeah, my friend had like a Mary Poppins bag, and we basically stuffed so much candy in there. Like 8 of us went to the theater, and she just like kept pulling it out and going down the line.
Oh, that's easy. But the thing is when someone has a coffee, they're not going to try to hide it. They just walk in with the coffee and then act surprised that theaters don't let stuff be brought in. Like, you don't have a sign, and I would just point at the front door with the giant thing printed on the door that says no outside food or drink allowed. Yeah.
Yeah.
That sign means nothing to me. I can't read.
Exactly. It's funny. It feels like very little happened in the last week with Digimon, but then you go down like the list of the stuff we're talking about. It's like actually there was quite a bit, and it's like a wide variety. Some of which are great, and others get weird. But let's go ahead and start with Adventure Episode 33, the Hikari of Dawn, which I'm not. I think everyone's roughly convinced that is not quite translated correctly, because that feels strange.
Yeah.
I think it makes more sense in Japanese because like they actually wrote out the word Hikari in
Yeah.
Yeah, but you could easily just go with the light of Hikari or the dawn of Hikari and just fudge it a little bit. You could.
Yeah, the light of dawn even would be acceptable.
Yeah. And this is the episode where I fear AR loses his credibility.
Wait,
no.
Hey,
I don't think so. I mean, I really
no.
wish that
I'll explain why.
Okay.
Last week in the chat room, you ranted a lot about the episode, and then your review was basically you loved it. This week in the chat room, you had roughly the same kind of rant, and you didn't like it.
No, I was much more positive about last week's episode than this week's. I don't remember if I said much in the chat, but I know on the initial reaction on Twitter was definitely more positive for last week's than this week's.
Oh no,
last week's episode
it was more positive for last week, value. But generally this week's was not negatively received in general.
Well, they're wrong. This episode was bad.
Yeah, send your hate mail to AR in Wisconsin, wherever it is he is. And that is a gag I don't think I've used for about 90 episodes. It was easier to use with Victor, who constantly said stuff that would upset people.
Also, you know where you can pin Victor down to a specific city.
Oh, I know what city you live in. I just don't remember enough to care. Victor
Okay.
brought up his city a lot, so it was just easier to remember the name.
Yes, well, Victor does stuff within the city.
Yes.
Actually, there's stuff to do in his city, which is a nice point.
Yeah, the only thing to do in my city is you can visit Reagan's tomb. That's about it.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I mean, mine's like a massive tourist spot, but other than that, we just don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Back to the episode. Dark Knightmon's quite a guy, isn't he?
I mean, he was.
Yeah. I have to say, I'm actually rather glad him and Dark Male. I never remember that damn thing's name. Dark Male Dramon, right?
Male Dramon, yeah.
Yep.
Yes. I keep wanting to say Male Bird Dramon. I'm glad they're.
You know, my notes. I realized this as I was taking my notes that I kept anytime I was referring to male Dramon, I kept putting MB in my initials as if it was male Bird Dramon.
Yeah, it flows very easily.
I got around that in the actual. I thankfully didn't have anything. I didn't make that mistake in the actual episode because my episode review did not mention male Dramon at all because
my favorite complaint about the episode is people going, so there's nothing special about male Dramon? They kept hinting there was, and I just kept going, they never hinted once at anything. There was never anything involving that character. It was people decided that there must be.
Entirely fan speculation.
Yes.
I mean, the fan speculation is better than what they ended up doing.
No,
with
I'm perfectly happy with what they did.
No,
I'm perfectly happy with it.
They didn't do anything, which is fine. Like, you don't have to have every character be special. Like, that's okay.
Hey, he exploded in a special way.
Okay, then.
I was kind of hoping for, a little more,
I don't know. So here's the thing. We're kind of not.
There was a lot I was hoping for in this episode that didn't happen.
We're not quite talking about this linearly, which is fine because the stuff at the end is really where like the interesting stuff is. Yes, I like that it was not actually, and of course the next episode could prove me wrong. It's basically Tailmon being used as a battery.
Was that what was going on?
Yes. I like that because
that's where she was hiding.
Because
that's all I got out of that. It's like, oh, that's where she was.
No, see, I saw it as the ring being used as a battery because she wasn't there originally. It was just the ring inside of him. I kind of saw it as the ring was being used as a battery to power him because he had the whole artificial vibe and everything. That's how I saw it.
That was just like symbolizing the holy Digimon.
Now who's doing fan speculation?
It's a holy ring.
Hey, here's the thing. My speculation is actually based on what's on screen, though. There's a very wide difference between this is what happened on screen, and I'm trying to come up with what I think is what happened. And
I honestly think there's about a 50% chance they will never bother to explain that part.
I doubt they will. I'm very glad
they're just going to move on. It's like, yep, Tailmon was inside him.
I will say,
normal.
It's very interesting now to go back to when the episode guide stuff came out and see once again that literally all the ranting over the interpretation was once again not what actually happened.
I can't believe that that's not like the execution.
It happens
of all
every
that
time.
Was,
it happens every time.
I was all set to go on a rant about how bad that was going to end up, and then what they ended up doing was like, it was fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not interesting.
See, I thought it was more interesting to not do what would have been the obvious thing that I'm pretty sure it's what I saw coming. I'm pretty sure it's what everyone saw coming even before most people anyways, which was it's Tailmon. Tailmon being there but not actually being him, I at least thought was more interesting than what we were going to get.
It's better, but I don't think it's more interesting.
I kind of would have preferred Tailmon to have been Dark Maeldramon, and Hikari just kind of like
Fuck no.
kicks Skull Knightmon off the horse. It's like, nope, this is my cat pony thing now.
I don't think there's a way they could have made that scenario. The way that I think they pinned themselves into a place where they could not have possibly made that particularly good. Like, no matter what they did.
We got to hear more of the new song again, which I really am looking forward to, like an actual release of that song.
That is a good song.
Yeah. And then we got updates on various people. Mimi. Okay, so Mimi was definitely running a fight club, right?
We don't have to talk about any of this. None of this matters.
Yes, we do. Yes, it does. Mimi
and
was.
This is exactly why this episode was crap, because the entire focus of the episode should have primarily been on Taichi, and yet we have to go and diverge and talk about these individual shots of 4 people doing absolutely nothing. Mimi, Joe, Koshiro, and Yamato did absolutely nothing in this episode. They haven't done anything for the last 5 episodes.
That is fake anger, because we did the same thing last week, and you were more than happy to go along on that journey, talking about Mimi running a fight club.
Yeah, that was because they showed something new. This wasn't new. This is just continuing along with it.
It confirms it was a fight club, at least. It was not Golemon getting beat up, because he was showering them with gems and shit.
Okay.
See, that's what happens when you win a fight. Like, they lose. They have to give half the money to you.
If you want to, like go there, like do something with that. I would much rather see an episode of Mimi doing the fight club than anything Taichi's been involved with. Like, nothing Taichi's been doing has been good.
I think the episode mostly worked. I don't think it was a better episode, but I think it pretty much worked, and it was enjoyable to sit there and watch it.
See, my problem with it is, like, if you look at everything that happened, like, it works fine, but it's like a culmination of the Dark Knightmon issue. It's Taichi rescuing Hikari, who had been kidnapped 6 episodes ago, I think. 5 or 6 episodes ago.
And it should 4.
Like, this is... No, it was...
Because War Greymon was in 30. Wasn't she actually kidnapped in 29, the one right before that?
28. 29 was the introduction of the woodland creatures that Taichi went to rescue because he liked them more than Hikari.
Fair enough.
So, yeah, it's like, because this is a culmination of this... I guess you could call that an arc. And when it comes to that, and that there should be some sort of emotional resonance going on, and when it delivers something that's just fine, that's not good enough. Like, this is a moment where they should be pulling out all the stops and really delivering on something. And that's what really frustrated me more than anything else.
I don't really see it as the end of the arc, to be honest, though.
Well, it has to be in some way.
No, I think it's the end of Dark Knightmon. I think the end of the arc's in an episode or two.
But Dark Knightmon was sort of the focal point of the arc. Like, he was what carried over from Devimon. He sort of introduced the problem in the first place by, getting everyone split up to begin with.
But he was always a robotic guy, though. He was always the minion thing.
But he was apparently important enough to get his own evolution sequence that looked badass.
He already got beat up by Garurumon. He was not really a threat at that point, minus what he was trying to do. And they clarified what he was trying to do here.
Dark Knightmon was important. Hikari getting kidnapped was important. There needs to be a little more. There needs to be a little more of a crescendo.
Hikari getting
in a moment like this.
Hikari getting kidnapped was important. I'm not sure Dark Knightmon was important. He was interesting while he showed up, but he always was just doing what it seemed like his job was to do. And even here they point out that was his job, which was Millenniummon was going to be reborn through him. We don't even know if he's an actual guy or if he's just something that they built to do that.
We'll probably never know.
Yeah.
See, and that just reminds me of the sound effect of them going, "Aw," after he blew up.
Yeah, they were just sort of mildly disappointed with that.
Well, because they even said they'll have other opportunities.
Oh, well.
Yeah, they'll have other chances.
Curse you, Gadget.
See, that's the thing. I like that they weren't, like, flipping out like Dr. Claw would because they know they'll have other chances, maybe even better chances. They've oddly made the search for Millenniumon more interesting than I thought it would be, to be honest. Just in the sense of
All I
that.
could think of was like the little aliens from
Yeah, everyone said
Toy
the ones from
Story.
Toy
Yeah,
Story.
everyone made
Everyone.
that joke. But as far as, you know, like, yeah, they made, the Vetamon cult was interesting, and, you know, it sets it up to make the search for Millenniumon more interesting. But again, that's all down the road stuff. And I'm sick
But
of
yeah,
getting excited over
that's
down the road stuff. I want now to be interesting,
yeah,
and they never make now interesting.
yes, that has been the core
It's
flaw of the show. Is very often we could sit there and go, "This is fine. I look
yeah,
forward to how it comes next," and that has not happened. Like, and
and
that could, and that could
that's what
even go
this
ahead.
was this was a moment where now had to pay
See,
off, and like
see, no,
this is rescuing a party member, and
see,
like this is Taichi, this is the main character's sister.
I'm very
They're
much
rescuing a party member,
in
and
this
like if
case.
they're not going to make
Nah.
now, if they're not going to make now interesting in a moment like this, they are never going to make
See,
now interesting.
I will say you're wrong on that for one key reason. They have another episode or two to do that for what appears to be the arc. At that point, if they don't do it, then yeah, they fucked up.
But what else is there in the arc? Like, what else is
But
going to
here's the thing.
top this as far as
but
actually having Taichi show an emotion?
but that's the thing. I'm not going to say because I know what happens mildly from guide data. So I can't really comment on anything without actually saying stuff. Doesn't mean it will
Yeah,
be interesting. I'm saying I'm willing to give them one or two more episodes before saying this arc was.
I think if they can't pull this off, I don't care. Like nothing they can do going forward is going to be able to keep up.
We'll see, I guess. Yeah, I'm just not bothered by the episode in general. It's good enough, which has been a recurring theme of the show.
Better.
That's the thing. It's like good enough is like no. This is an episode to bring it. That's where my main argument is.
See, to me, that could be in an episode or two. And yes, it probably should have been here regardless. But I'm not really bothered by what we got. Partially because we just get to stop dealing with every theory on the planet regarding who Tailmon is, to be quite honest. Just not having to deal with that makes it even more pleasant, to be 100% honest.
See, I don't watch the show to see how they shut the fans up. I expect entertainment value beyond that.
Well, that's
kind of fanfic fodder.
Yeah, that's kind of the flaw, though. Is if you're not being entertained at some point, it's time to go.
I mean, the Anime News Network guy, he rage quit on this.
No, I think they were just done covering the show, and he just chose to present it that way. I think they just weren't covering it anymore.
You're right, but I love that he decided to present it that way.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. That is the truth. If you really aren't enjoying it, it doesn't do you any benefit to keep watching it. And he clearly was not enjoying the show. Like,
yeah, I've been reading his reviews. Our viewpoints on this show are very much in line.
Except he was upset at episodes you liked.
He didn't like last week's episode, and I liked it.
Yeah, like
there have been little differences here and there, but in general,
last week's he was really upset about, and that was an episode that almost everyone actually liked.
Yeah, that was kind of, I found that funny more than yeah, that was just kind of funny that he liked that one. He didn't like that one, and everyone else did.
Yeah,
I forgot what his specific arguments were, but either it's in general though it's kind of the same.
But no, I really do believe the idea of at some point it's not the show's fault if someone sticks with it and doesn't like it. There is a point to leave. And I'm not talking about you, but we've both seen people who have lost their shit trying to talk about the show every week. At some point, it's time to go.
This show is not going to get better if you're not enjoying it.
Yeah,
it's very clear right now.
And that's the thing. AR 100% knows I'm not talking about him, but we've both seen people who have completely flip out every week. At some point, there has to be a better use of your Saturday night, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I more or less liked the episode. Dev seems to have liked it. AR really did not
Okay.
like it. Yeah.
I just expected better.
We hit
Yeah.
we all
Yeah,
expected
and like so by
we all
not
expected
liking it,
better.
like
We
when
all
I say I
expected
don't
better.
like it, like it was a C plus, so which is definitely not liking it.
Yeah.
It's just that's where the scale
So
is
our
basically.
opinions run the gamut this time. And next time we get Hikari and Tailmon. Punching Kitty.
Creative episode title.
I mean, Digimon's never had creative titles in Japanese. We all still remember the amusing dub titles. The Japanese titles, more or less, are pretty basic.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah. And then I think we all saw this coming, the location map.
We saw it. I mean, we saw places.
Well, no, I mean, I think we saw
sites
they were
doing it.
going to do
Anime tourism.
Is that? Yeah, that has been a bigger thing as of late.
Yeah.
Instead of just putting random signs in train station windows.
So we get that with the map. We also get the social distancing posters.
The feet.
Pretty cute.
Yeah.
So which one would you put in your WtW? Which one of those would you put in your store? The Agumon one or the Taichi one?
Definitely the Agumon one.
Of course you would. Thank you.
I'm trying to figure out which one I would put up. I feel like the Agumon one. The one with both of them feels kind of boring to me.
Oh yeah, that one's lame.
Because they're not wearing a mask.
And to scale, they're not 6 feet apart either.
Photoshop masks on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the thing, and I like that they're actually going to have printouts of it. Yeah, at the offices and stuff. So that's interesting.
Yeah. Well, it's it's there to be functional. Like it's there for stores to be able to print out and use if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Anime tourism.
Yeah, it's interesting though. I like it. And then, so this was unexpected and interesting. Digimon Adventure is streaming subbed on Crunchyroll in Europe and MENA countries.
Good for them.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. There's not much to say here, minus that people have pointed out it does appear to be using the upscaled Blu-ray masters rather than just the same pseudo DVD master, so a bit nicer. The
I'm hearing it's a new subtitle track too.
It hasn't been clarified if it's a new subtitle track or if they've just cleaned up some terms. Because certain things from the old subs definitely are still here, so it's hard to tell because I've not seen the actual subtitles themselves. Certain things have been cleaned up, though. Other things have not. So we'll see as this gets extended. But that's also... I mean, we even mentioned this last year when it started vanishing places and it was obvious licenses were expiring, was that anytime a company that has it and things go away, it always means things can get interesting. So we'll see what comes up with this, because that definitely has nothing to do with us in any way. But it does mean that hopefully something will come up here. But we'll see. And then we had a bunch of Vital Bracelet updates. So first up, we got to see a bunch more sprites and actual new Digimon showing up in it. Is it weird that all these sprites, I don't know how I feel about some of them. Like, they're in that weird sort of space where maybe they're not high resolution, and it's kind of weird. I don't know how to put it.
It really reminds you of like the Battle Spirit, like Game Boy Advance kind of style.
They're Battle Spirits Plus.
Yep.
Yeah. So we got to see a big stack of those, and the adventure ones are interesting in that I believe everyone that they've shown so far actually has shown up in the anime in some form. even if they are, doing filler with villains, which is kind of neat, I guess. And then they announced a new limited trial version dim, and people got very upset very quickly at how limited this one was going to be.
Yeah, especially because like it's not like you can resell them at all
Well, you
because it's
could,
just like
you just don't use them.
yeah, that's disappointing.
Yeah, so 100 will be given away from V-Jump, and we know there's going to be other ways that they'll be given away. So 100 will be from V-Jump, and basically a day or so later, they did the DigiNavi headline news, and as part of that, they actually did say there would be a contest on the Vital Bracelet website where more of them would be given away that way. And they also clarify the actual numbers to expect in DIMs. A normal DIM will have 17 Digimon with one as the headliner, basically. And on February 1st, we'll get more details on how to try to win that DIM, which is upsetting people. And
yeah, I can see why.
There actually wasn't all that much in DigiNavi headline news, although it did seem to clarify that Mimi will continue being the narrator for these, which is amusing. Although I'd kind of hope that, they'd swap with Joe and others, but I'm perfectly happy having it be Mimi.
Because Mimi is a fucking delight.
I mean, it gives her something to do because she hasn't been on the show in
she's
month.
running. This is
Between
on her time off from
between her Fight Club. Yeah.
And on March 12th, we'll actually get a full DigiNavi the day before the Vital Bracelet is out. So we'll see what pops up there. Because the last one was actually really the last one felt more interesting than most of them had been. So
it had a lot of information on it too, so.
Yeah. So we'll see what pops up on the next one. And then we have more Memorial Story Digimon stuff.
I love the plushies.
Yeah, so first up, we got to see 2 new Digimon in Rurimon and Piantomon. Rurimon, it was funny, he basically said that when he met Kenji Watanabe to have the discussion with him where then Kenji Watanabe would use that information to decide what to do, he kind of got tongue-tied, so the most relevant stuff he said was that he liked Blue and he liked Agumon.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably should have brick if there was like Kenji Watanabe showing up.
Yeah, and multiple people have pointed out, like, if you are a hardcore Digimon fan, you might actually get so I actually think, assuming there wasn't more information that we're not being told, he actually did a lot with Agumon and Blue. Where we get like a little wizard Agumon guy, and he has the little wings.
Mm-hmm.
And he has the
like
book.
Totally different like nose shape too, like little scale.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And he has I don't know what the ears are, what the ear things are called. Kenji Watanabe's drawn them on other characters before, like the sort of straight horns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
little
then
hornlets.
Yeah. And then we also got to see Piantomon, which people seemed very excited by.
Jackalope!
Yeah,
of course we are.
Basically, Moth said that he was a big fan of rabbits, so it ended up being Kenji Watanabe ended up picking it after a jackalope, which is, like a not quite existing jackrabbit creature from North America. And he has a scarf, and they're not boxing gloves. What would you call those? Like training gloves
little,
or something?
Exercise gloves.
Yeah, with carrots on them. And we got to see the plush of him, which that is a great plush. Although, does it almost look more like a squirrel?
Feels like
I think it's only from the front angle.
Yeah.
Because like the ears look smaller than they actually are, just the way that the angle is.
And Moth made his own sprite of it, which that's actually a really good sprite that fits into like the rules of how those sprites work. I'm actually quite impressed because normally when we get the fan-made sprites of new Digimon, they often can look wonky if they're just made up. I really like this one where you can see the scarf and the horns and everything worked really well. And then we also got to see the plushie of Equestramon, or Extramon, however you want to pronounce it.
It gave us a pronouncer before, and I
Yeah,
don't
but
have it
I
anymore.
don't have it pulled up, so I'm going
Yeah,
with what.
we
Yeah,
had
it's
one.
literally just Extramon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. The plush of this looks nice. I will say the photos are almost done too nicely for Extramon because you get basically the 90-degree shots. You kind of want one of it like 3/4.
yeah, you wanted 3/4 of that.
Yeah, because especially the front shot where the eyes are kind of flat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like looking at a bird of prey where it's like cool
Yeah.
from the side, but when they look straight at you, it's like imminent derp.
Pick an eye.
Yeah, and then Gyot-chan actually put up a video of him unboxing and looking over the plush of Ganvivramon, and that is the best look we've had of any of these. And man, he really put together a nice short video showing it off, like showing it in and out
Like
of the
see like the
pill.
scale and everything.
Yeah, and of course that is what Gyot-chan does is Digimon videos. So that one was
Oh, I
put
never knew
together
that.
quite well. It was just nice to see the level of detail, like, because he really did go close up, going around everything, showing the zipper color match at one point, and it was actually impressive, like the amount of effort they put into it and the way it zips up. It was just quite nice. And we have 2 plushies left that we haven't seen and 1 Digimon that we haven't seen at all. So we'll see when and if those pop up. And then, hey, it's a new poll, sort of.
Sort of.
I like how they even it's not a vote, it's not a poll, it's basically, hey, we're doing DigiNavi. Ask questions about the Vital Bracelet. And they did clarify that after they will have more of them on the website that will be answered, so that's nice. And
I want them to release the results anyway, like how many of each question they received.
Yeah. And then DigiWeb got a new logo, and we're back to using logos that very much are designed to remind us of the old English logo. And English is the
Yep.
primary logo now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's hard to want to say if there's a message here we should be taking. Because Digimon does love flipping back and forth with English and Japanese in Japan anyways, but they've always been very interested in that English logo. I wish we had gotten more stuff of the Japanese version of our logo, because as far as I know, they only used it that one time. And that was monochrome, so it was the business card holder from the real world. So we'll see. And then we have
That's so long ago, I barely remember it.
Yeah. Then products. Rings. I'm
They
not
look like
getting
shit.
these. I doubt AR is either. And
Oh, God,
Dev spent enough.
Well, that and I don't wear any kind of jewelry, so.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, I wear one ring, and it's sort of like mandatory.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of
Really,
people.
you just kind of
Oh,
go like Lord
okay.
of the Rings and put it on a chain.
So 100%. Do you know how many tweets and other stuff I saw of people saying, "Oh, this would make a great engagement ring"?
What?
I have to say, if that thought came to mind, please do not. Don't do that.
They look
Yeah.
like something that came out of one of those like 25
No,
cent.
they're not that
gumball
cheap. But
machines.
these are not meant to be like
They look like
fancy
it.
classy rings. These are basically low key. It's sort of like the Digimon ties, where the idea is you can
Yeah.
have something without it like screaming, "I'm a weeb."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's legitimate
You're a
bling.
closet
It's
weeb.
just
It's
not
yeah,
engagement ring material.
yeah. Do not do that. If you do, we can't help you.
I mean, when I propose, I'm using a sword.
Oh, there you go.
Well, you've spoiled it because for all you know, your future person could be listening right now.
Now, when you use the sword, is it going to be used in a ceremonial way, or are you going to point it at their throat and said, "Marry me"?
The latter.
Both.
Okay.
I would
Okay,
assume
just
both.
checking.
Because if they say yes, then you can do the thing where
Well,
just
no,
tap it on their shoulder.
no, you use that during you do the ceremonial thing during the wedding ceremony.
I mean, we met over gay Digimon fan fiction 20 years ago, so they already know they're stuck with me.
Okay.
Yeah, good luck. And then they announced the third Digimon Adventure Blu-ray and DVD box for June 2nd. I would really like them to stop just going, it will have a clean ending. And it's like, oh, whatever could it be? And it's Mind Game. We all know that.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
confirmed, but it's Mind Game. It will be episodes 25 through episode 36.
A clean ending, although that's a pretty good selling point with the animation in that ending.
Yeah.
Those are pretty.
Yeah. And the first box ended up having a lot more than they advertised, so we'll see if box 2 and 3 will, because 2 isn't quite out yet. And then in V-Jump, we got a little bit. We got to see our first images of a new Digimon, Lovely Angemon, and just earlier today, we got all the early data mining before she properly shows up. So
Because
basically,
Tailmon needs another ultimate form.
Look, are you gonna complain that we got magical kung fu girl
with
Angemon?
twin tails?
Yes. I will say the thing that when I was putting up the image of this that really did come to mind was I actually like how many little touches there are of Angemon still here. Like the things around the twin tails are her raiments.
Mm-hmm. Oh
I
no,
just
it's a perfectly fine design. I'm
yeah
just gonna rip off
yeah.
of it anyway.
Oh, of course. I think it works well. The evolution sequence is standard but nice. It's just a nice
Yeah.
little touches.
I wish I was caught up enough on Rear Eyes to know if there's any sort of
I
character
wish
progression.
that when I was putting this up, I didn't type her name like 10 times and notice it right before posting and had to fix it.
Did you type in like Hatsune Miku by
No,
accident?
I literally typed in Lady Angemon every single time.
Oh.
like 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 when I typed in the file names, everything was fine. But then as I'm putting it up, I'm like, it's like Lady Angela. It doesn't look right. It's like, wait, it's lovely, right? And I go and double check the name, and I was like, somehow, because you're putting stuff up, and you just sort of start typing by rote, and somehow I was typing the wrong thing over and over again, and I had to just check everything. Like the video clip when I
Honestly,
put it
I've
up
done that
said
when someone
Lady
started a
Angemon.
conversation with me.
Yeah. Because it's one of those things where in my head I kept going, okay, it's not Angemon. Don't put Angemon. It's not
No.
Angemon. So then somehow that morphed into Lady Angemon while typing it.
It is weird to imagine this as a level higher than Angemon, just based off of the appearance. Like
Yeah,
that's gonna take
It
some
honestly
getting
looks
used
like it would
to.
just be like a subspecies.
yeah.
Yeah, it kind of does.
It feels very much like it was designed looking at Angemon, where it feels like it's more of a same level thing.
Yeah, either same level or even a level below.
Yeah,
But
I was
I mean that
thinking,
doesn't mean anything
no,
in this. But
yeah. I don't know. I guess that can also be a good thing also because sometimes evolutions do become a bit too predictable in 1 to 2 to 3, where this feels a bit different, which is kind of nice. Where it
I mean
is
it's actually it's weird. It's kind of weird in the sense that it does fit very well with Angelomon because we all know that that's not the Tailmon line that everyone jokes about, the idea of dog to cat
yeah,
to angel to
and now we
dragon.
have 4 of them.
Yeah, now it's actually there's actually something
Vocaloid.
consistent going on here.
Yeah. So she will be in the game later this week. It popped up now through some of the bits being added in an update, but not enough for the people data mining to come up with everything. It's just those things. Although I will say I like the design. Although, man, people on Twitter need to calm the fuck down and stop being creepy motherfuckers.
Are they going off that like waifu bullshit?
Yes.
Oh, of course they are.
The number of people,
That
the number of people who sent some variation of "I want her to punch me," like, not like. Here's the thing: if you're gonna be creepy, at least be creative. Literally, like it was like a dozen of literally just "I want her to punch me" or some slight variation on that. No creativity at all. Do better, creepy
They
people.
could go like,
creativity.
"I want her to choke me to death with her twin tails."
Oh, I'm
They could
pretty
at
sure there
least
was
be
at
a little
least.
more
I
creative.
think there was one of those. I think there was one of those.
There are a lot of characters that people probably want to choke them with their twin tails. I'm sure people probably said that about
Let
people
us move
probably
on to
said that about
cards.
Aerie.
It is time for cards. So first up, from Booster Set 5, we actually got a lot of interesting previews this week. So Mega Dramon, everyone liked. Everyone seemed to really like him holding on to the tiny Omegamon. The funniest part was a lot of people didn't notice that at first. A few people, even saw a few people going, "Why does Hackmon look so weird?" Zeke Greymon, which looks great. Mori Shellmon might have been the most surprising one of the week. That shocked the hell out of people. That is a character who does not
You
show up.
wouldn't expect like the recolor before the regular one.
But that does make it a bit interesting, though. Metal Groomon Black. Shoutmon, everyone was very happy to see Shoutmon.
Shoutmon.
Yeah. And great art on Shoutmon. Although I love that it appears to be unplugged. It's in behind where the data is, where you can see the cords unplugged, which is great. Yomon and Black Gromon, Koromon and Sunomon, a remake of the old card game card Hot and Fierce Metal Storm. I like when they do these and they don't just use the name, they actually do new versions of the old art, which was just a neat touch.
It looks so friggin' cool.
Yeah. And then we got a nice stack of interesting previews in V-Jump. We got Shoutmon DX, which great art there. Sakuyamon, which suggests who else we'll be seeing in the line, since every booster, someone's been complaining that Renamon hasn't shown up yet. It feels like that means this time. Now, am I wrong, or does the Metal Garurumon card actually look really good this time? Like, it's
they
not the
always
best
look
shot,
really good, but this one's like jumping out of the frame, which is always nice.
Yeah. Then we get the ultimate version of Argomon. And then we got this one like 3 different fucking times. So first we saw it in V-Jump, then we got a photo of a promo poster, then just the other night they gave us the high resolution promo poster. We get Omegamon Zwart and the Omegamon card and the parallel of both showing. I'm trying to decide if this is artistic license of them in a battle or if they're actually fighting like together. Because it doesn't feel like they're fighting each other in the parallel cards to me. It feels like they're fighting against someone else.
Back to back.
Yes. And I really like that, and it makes me wonder. Yeah. And I like it has where they join, there's the little Omegamon symbol at the bottom. Really nice looking cards. And seeing both of those does bring up something interesting. Normally, the parallel cards have been the artwork from the promo poster. The promo poster has an Omegamon image we haven't seen anywhere else and an image of D. So, do you think we get a third Omegamon card and defeat showing up, or do you think something else is going on with those?
They might use it for like a box, either like a box topper or a promo card later.
I will never bet against more Omegamon.
Yeah, I'm not going to say a promo card later because I feel like it has to be something from this set, at the very least. So, yeah, we'll see. And I still like how we get all the little silhouettes and outlines of other characters from the set, including a few we have not seen yet. I think we all know who we're all waiting to see, which is Cutemon, the most important Digimon.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, what was that?
Precious baby.
Yeah. We have all the English 1.5 cards, and roughly the same time promo cards. I'm amused that the apparel cards we already have, and I don't think we have large images of those from Japan yet. Or they just added them a few weeks ago. It's one or the other. But yeah, we have all of those, which is nice. Fun Digica did 2 viewer suggestion battles, card battles continuing their team competition. And then, just in the last few days, we got a lot of stuff. So first, the Large Tamer Exchange meeting happened. They did pre-sell the War Greymon playmat there, and then did open up Premium Bandai pre-orders. They streamed some of the battles with the card battle. I don't want to say hosts. There we go. And then they also announced 1-year anniversary type stuff. So there'll be 6 promo packs for if you spend 500 yen or more. I will say at 500 yen's good because those are basically gimmies at that point.
Yeah.
They'll be in May. They'll have a pack based on all 8 adventure characters. Beginning January 29th, they'll do a vote for popular pre-existing cards. 10 of those will get parallel cards in Booster Set 6. As far as I can tell, cards that already have parallel cards are not eligible, I think. So no Megamon, which should make some people happy. Then around July, they'll be doing a themed booster with no clarification what that actually means. So we will find out. And then as part of that, and we just got it late last night, Booster Set 6 will be May. It's called Double Diamond. Card distribution's pretty standard. Starter Deck 7 will be Dukemon. Starter Deck 8 will be UL Force Vidramon. They're basically the normal starter decks, but they come with 6 extra cards, which they don't clarify what it is, but they have a new rarity. You get a
If
playmat.
Blastmon isn't like the mascot of the set, I'll be disappointed.
Yeah, that's not happening. You'll get UL Force Vidramon and Dukemon and like it. Yeah,
Well, I
so
did kind of spend a stupid amount of money on a figurine of that, so.
yeah, it'll be interesting what the new rarity is, because I think the idea is it's updated versions of old cards with new text. I think it's one of those things where they probably did explain it in Japanese, but did my best, and no one else has come up with better so far. It appears. So we'll see. Everyone's trying to figure out what double diamond means at this point. A number of people seem to have decided it means X antibody.
Everyone's going skiing. That's what it
Yes,
means.
that was one of the responses. Was challenging slopes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Reverse hollow, super sparkly cards.
Yeah. And then art from episode 33. The Kenji Watanabe art is the eyes make it fucking creepy. Although her smile doesn't help much. And then Kenji Watanabe did a really nice. I actually really like that one. It sounds shit to say every week, but he really is doing a lot of interesting stuff that isn't quite his normal style.
That's the kind of artistic visual you need in this series. Like that's what I want to see. That kind of stuff.
Yeah, they don't have the budget for that. You're not getting.
I mean, it can be drawn consistently. It's like I'm just talking like from
you're not
a
getting
cinematography.
You're not getting Ghibli quality art. Look at Ghibli's CGI movie. That doesn't even look
had that one.
good.
That one Mimi episode was awfully Ghibli.
Yes, because of 10 seconds at the end. Everyone remembers the 10-second Ghibli thing at the end, and that now we have the Ghibli dog running around. Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, I don't want to say this is my favorite of the Kenji Watanabe episode art so far, but it's definitely one of the better ones, I think. Like, it really does look nice.
Yeah.
Fun perspective, texture, colors. It's got everything we want.
And then we have questions. So those of you in the chat can start thinking yours up while we start with the ones that were sent in ahead of time. And the first one was favorite Digimon game.
It's Cyber Sleuth. That's easy
One,
win for me.
once this was sent in, I was trying to decide if they just meant game or a video game. Because there have been like half a dozen card games. There's been board games. I assume they meant
have you actually seen like the Digimon board game played?
yes.
It's bad.
Oh, it's terrible.
It's really bad.
But here's the thing: if we were to rank Digimon video games on like a fair video game scale, what would the highest one rank in your opinion?
Yeah, still Cyber Sleuth.
Oh no, it would. But I'm saying if you ranked Cyber Sleuth against other games, it's not
there
like
are websites. There are websites that do that, and Cyber Sleuth does pretty well.
Yeah,
like it's not like pinnacle high, but it's
but AR, that's your way of avoiding answering the question. I'm asking what you would rank it as if you were taking into account non-Digimon games.
Oh,
a 6 or 7?
I'd probably go like an 8.
Fair enough. But yeah, it would be Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory as far as I mean, I guess you could answer Rumble Arena too.
I think my favorite is probably going to be like Digimon Story Moonlight.
Oh,
yeah, everyone did like those two actually, quite a bit.
They had a fun storyline. They were enjoyable to play. I got to use like a lot of fun Digimon that I liked. It was actually enjoyable.
Yeah.
I just checked online at the general rankings for Cyber Sleuth, and it's about 7.5 is about the average for Cyber Sleuth.
Yeah, that sounds about right, or even a little high, to be honest. Then someone see. I'm wondering if this is the same person. You guys have talked about how Digimon story games are alright JRPGs. Stuff like Dragon Quest seems too large. Are there better small ones? I mean, a lot of the stuff from the 90s wasn't like the modern 70, 80, 100. A lot of those were 15, 20 hours. I think Chrono Trigger's only like 15 hours. It's not
No, Chrono Trigger's it's a little more than that, I think. Maybe because I'm more of that might be I might have put more in because I'm more of I try to do a little more completionist route.
I think my first playthrough of Chrono Trigger was like 16, and I actually was doing a lot of side stuff.
I don't feel like looking it up, but Chrono Trigger's it's tight.
Yeah.
We'll say that.
Yeah.
It's a tight game.
Okay. Here's a good one. The remake of Trials of Mana. That's modern, and it's only each playthrough is only like 15 hours, I think. 14, somewhere around there. Trials of Mana is not a long game, and it probably would help you ease into it because it does have more of a Zelda-ish battle type style.
Mario RPG is another one that's
I love Mario. Mario RPG is short, as I recall.
Yeah, that's a pretty short one.
Yeah,
and it's good. It's very good.
Here's the problem with Mario RPG. Mario RPG is so good, you start to get angry at other RPGs for not doing things the same way. Like the button press.
Mario RPG's fault.
Yes, it is. Like the button presses to modify attacks and defenses. You know how many times, like in muscle memory and other RPGs, I will start to do that just in case it works.
Mother 3, you can do that. Mother 3 has a nice timed rhythm. Like you actually have to listen to the background music and push buttons to the music, and they will occasionally throw you off with tempo changes and random beats. It's a really cool. It's the coolest mechanic in that game.
Yeah.
Like as far as strict gameplay goes, like not talking about the plot and stuff, it's the coolest thing that game contributes to the RPG world.
Well, it also contributes the idea that there's only so many jokes. I'll move on from making a Mother 3 joke. They're too easy at this. They're too easy at this point.
I know you were gonna try.
Well, I was gonna make the joke about that Reggie doesn't have to deal with it anymore. where like every interview someone would ask about Mother 3 and he would just kind of shrug and move on.
Not his problem.
I can't really think of any JRPGs that would be shorter that I've personally played, because those the ones I hit are usually around like 40-hour mark.
Okay. Here's one. I'll ask this one that was put in. We'll ask specifically of you, Dev. Twin Swords wants to know favorite Digimon statue or figure.
Hard to say.
I have to say the one Angelomon one is really nice. The one that they didn't break in shipping.
Yeah, that one is gorgeous, and it's like I'm looking at it on my shelf right now, and it is sexy.
Yeah, that one they did a really good job on.
I mean, although probably my favorite one, I don't think it counts because it's not official, but there was like one of those
as far as I'm concerned, those are all shit.
The Dark Well, there was a really nice one of all the Dark Masters, and it looked insane, and I'm a slut for the Dark Masters.
I don't know if I've seen that one. Oh, man.
As far as I'm concerned, they're all shit. Shit and dishonest, where sites start to go, oh, they're not bootlegs. They're third party.
I don't care what it is, it's gorgeous.
A gift from Transformers fandom years ago when sites said, oh, we won't cover bootleg figures. And then they wanted to cover them, and they started going, oh, they're third party figures.
Third party.
Yes, and they still do that. Okay, and someone wants to know, what's the best Digimon disc for video audio quality? You've talked how upscale. I wasn't sure if they were asking about like the single best release or like a version of the show. I think they're asking for actual disc, but I was not sure. Kazuna.
Yeah, I was gonna say it has to be.
Yeah, Kazuna's it'd be Kazuna, or if you discount Kazuna, it'd be the Tri ones. Because nothing else although the ones for the new show have been pretty good, but they're not done yet, so we'll see. And Matias wants to know, what is our favorite Digimon story covering all Digimon media?
It's a tough one. Story, like just overall entire span of the franchise, just what's your favorite story? I mean, for me, it just sort of, I mean, I don't want to be obvious about it, but it's probably going to be either Tamers or Tri. I'm trying to justify throwing like Cyber Sleuth in there as well, but it's like not quite for me. It's close though.
I would probably say Tri or Wargame. Because Wargame is so fun to watch, even though it's not a heavy story, it is an enjoyable story to sit there, and that's part of why Summer Wars works. It's the same story.
See, that's why I think Summer Wars is better, because they take the story and add a little more color to it. So that's why it's like is Wargame. It's entertaining, of course, but it's just a little thin for me, which is why I think I like Summer Wars, because it fattens it up a little bit. So I can't quite put that one on the list, but yeah, I think it's probably got to be Tri for me.
Dev, what do you think?
Tamers for me. Absolutely Tamers.
That's fair.
The instant you said Tamers, my brain literally just went, I wonder what Dev thinks of Tamers 2018. There's a story there in theory. But yeah,
we're talking about just the anime, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Then someone wants to know, what do you watch to relax?
Relax.
Ooh, this one is an easy one for me. I actually watch Japanology documentary series.
I watch people do speedruns and other video games. Grand Pooh Bear and Barb especially. Watching Barb is almost like watching myself. If you watch any random Barb video, you'll basically go, yeah, that's exactly Mark. Except he rants at the audience a bit more.
See, I'm terrible at watching stuff just to relax. Like, I'm usually either playing a video game or just on a random YouTube nature hike.
Well, see, that's why that's what I watch to relax, is I'm often doing other stuff, and You can only do that so much if it's a show you want to sit down and watch.
Yeah,
At least
well,
for me.
if I'm doing other stuff, then yeah, then what I'm putting on is completely different. Like then I'll just put sports on or something. I've
Yeah.
actually been I've been binging old episodes of Amazing Race because
Yeah,
I haven't watched that in like a decade.
yeah,
Decided to
for
catch up.
rewatching, I rewatch. Not been a while, but Scrubs and MASH are easy rewatches.
Oh yeah, MASH is a really easy rewatch.
Yeah. The
I'll
problem with
sometimes if I'll sometimes be at family gatherings and stuff, and they'll have it on like Me TV and stuff, and I'll occasionally get distracted from whatever the family's doing, just kind of keep my eye on MASH.
I paid to have the HD copies digitally because
That's yeah.
it looked so good, and even though it's cropped, they cropped it really well, and they even like
Oh.
redid all the titling so you can't tell.
Hmm.
So it looks
Huh.
really good. It sounds good. It's so easy to watch MASH.
I'll take a look at that because I friggin' love MASH, and I just have like an ancient box
Yeah,
set.
yeah. It's the only issue with MASH is you effectively have to be prepared for getting punched in the chest a few times.
Yeah.
There are
Yeah.
times when it really will go for your jugular, like
There are no
hardcore.
innocent bystanders in hell.
Not quite. It's more the innocent bystanders will get hit.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
like I won't spoil the big ones, but the one that I remember is when Charles teaches someone how to play. I don't know if it was violin or piano. Like he teaches a local Korean kid how to play, and he's gonna get him a scholarship, basically, so he can go do his dream of doing music. And he teaches him his favorite song. The kid plays it for him as a thank you. And right before the episode ends, Charles finds out he got killed. And he puts on
Yeah.
the
That's the.
song. And he puts on the
Mm,
song to relax, and he just gets this look of like horror on his face.
mm.
And I'm sure I got details of that wrong, but close enough. There's a lot of yeah.
It's the brilliant story potential of having a series like that that's just with war as a backdrop.
Yeah.
Like you can just do that whenever you want to.
Yeah, and
And
Scrubs.
it never fails to hit.
Yeah, and Scrubs basically does the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it actually used to be Serokai Yakuindomo, which multiple people wrote me in about. Because it's streaming on High Dive and VRV, I guess. Two comments said they liked it. One was trying to figure out what the show in the GIF that I posted the other day was, which was that, and one sent it and said I'm a horrible pervert. I'm pretty sure I warned that the show was
Yeah, there's that. Yeah.
like I 100% warned what the show was about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I saw the GIF.
Oh no.
That's
Not the GIF I sent you guys. The GIF I posted on Twitter that was 100% clean. It was just a joke gag.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. I sent them a GIF of the show of someone helping someone reach for boxes. The box slides, bounces off her chest, and whacks the other character in the back of the head. Yeah, and
Very funny.
Dev's been cackling about it the whole time. Ramon wants to know our thoughts on the Godzilla vs. Kong trailer. Haven't seen it.
Nope. I'm not a big Godzilla fan. It's just
I love
not
Godzilla. I
not
just
my thing.
I love Godzilla.
Yeah,
I love
I-
things blowing up. It's
I haven't watched
fantastic.
any of the current U.S. films. I just
Yeah,
wasn't interested in.
Godzilla is one of those things that I just wish I could get more excited about because I see how much excitement it brings in other people and I feel left out.
I remember
I
seeing.
wish I liked the kaiju more.
Have you seen Shin Godzilla?
No.
Watch that one. That's a good
No.
place to start. Wait, Dev, you love Godzilla. You haven't seen Shin Godzilla?
Because my ass is broke and I have no time to watch anything.
Okay, that
I
one
did
you
watch
really
like
that one you really do need to see. That one's good.
I just like watching deplorable violence and just monsters just beat the shit and smash everything.
Okay, Godzilla's not for you then, if that's the goal. You want Pacific Rim.
Yes.
Especially the second one, where it does go more brainless. Okay, Ian asked, what Digimon would be a pleasant and unexpected surprise to see in upcoming expansion of the game? I feel
Everyone
like we
knows what I'm going to answer
yeah.
here. Come
so
on.
here's the thing. First, I feel like we have to get rid of unexpected because I feel like they've shown us that anyone's on table, and I feel me and AR are going to have the same answer. Mon.
What was that?
Atmon.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. That's I don't know what Dev's answer is, but I knew what AR's answer was going to be the instant Ian asked that.
Come on.
Yeah,
I mean, I just want Dorumon all the goddamn time.
We've
Give me the
seen
fluffy baby.
Yeah, so far we've seen
Dorumon wouldn't be unexpected though.
Yeah, so far we've seen the potential of anything under the Mother brand. So the only thing that we don't know if it could pop up at this point is Atmon.
Mm-hmm.
So Atmon. That's
Because literally everything else is fair game. So
yeah, and everything has
nothing would surprise you now.
Like look at what we got this week. We got Mori Shellmon. No one when people are going, oh, who would you like to show up? No one was like Mori Shellmon, the Shellmon alternate color that shows up in a few games.
They could throw a Bun card and we wouldn't bat an eye.
Well, here's the thing. We've already gotten V-Tamer cards.
Give me the Chaos Generals. That would be fun.
But see, that's the thing is you don't even need to have it be them. It could just be a card of War Greymon and it's colored like the Chaos General version. And it could just be a wink. It doesn't even need to say Chaos War Greymon. Was it Chaos War Greymon or Chaos Black War Greymon?
Chaos Greymon.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, you could just have it be a War Greymon card and it's colored like Chaos Greymon, and most people would go, I know who that is. Well, for the handful of people who know who that is. But yeah, I feel like the example this week is we got Mori Shellmon. Anyone Digimon is on the table already, Atmon. Yeah. That may be an unfair answer, but the problem is it feels like anyone is on the table. And
I'll stand by my backup being Bun.
But we've already seen stuff from them in it, so it doesn't even feel like that wild of a guess.
You're right. I'm just saying that specifically, like the card just says Bun.
Yes. Oh, and
it's a named card.
Now here's the thing: Bun would probably have to be a white card because he can't evolve. So you'd have.
I'm not going to discuss the mechanics of it.
How dare you bring up Bun and not discuss the mechanics? Yeah. And then someone wants to know, did DevQ order the Angemon figure that's out soon? I don't think you ordered that.
I don't give a single fuck about Angemon.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you would have seen the $350 whatever price it was and gone, fuck no.
I actually just don't care about Angemon.
Oh, here's the thing. Gorgeous figure, and if it weren't quite so expensive, I actually would have gotten it. It is so fucking much. I mean, I'm going to link you guys that, gorgeous figure. I mean, among the nicest we've gotten, period. Not paying over $300. No way in hell.
No, I mean, it looks really nice, but I mean, at the same time, I'm gonna spend money on a character that I actually give a fuck about.
Yeah, that it feels like that should be
you got
a priority if you're gonna spend $300 on a figure, no matter how good it looks.
Yeah, she got the Omegamon Diablomon on a clock.
Okay.
Which was a nice one. I didn't get that one. I was so fucking tempted though. I literally went. This is just gonna go on top of some bookcase because I do not have the space to put this. So I just went, nah.
See, I'm curating my collection in my room, and I have a specific spot that I really want to put that.
Yeah, see, there's multiple figures that I have, not necessarily expensive ones, but ones that I had ordered. It's I need to find the space to pull them out of the box, figures of Sam and Max. Love that they finally did nice Sam and Max figures that were even affordable. Most people will not know who Sam and Max is, but if you know who they are, you're I will get messages from people going, They made Sam and Max figures.
I was about to ask that too, actually.
Yeah, because
For you showing them to me.
Yeah, and they aren't expensive and they look really fucking nice. Yeah, and I'm linking them to AR right now so that he can see, because
I don't believe you.
Yeah, if you know who Sam and Max is, you tend to like Sam and Max, and it's just it looks so nice. Like, for a Max figure, that looks great. I'm so happy to have it, but it's not on display. It's in the box, sitting in a corner right now.
These days, I'm not surprised when they make figures of anybody.
No,
It's just cool that they did one for Sam and Max.
I skipped the expensive Inspector Gadget ones.
That's fair.
Which I feel angry about. But yeah, so one more chance for you guys to
my room is
answer
just
questions.
like a clusterfuck.
Yeah. And that's why I've skipped some of them, is it's like I do not have the space. It's just gonna go into a corner until I have space someday. And
that's just the ones that are in my room right now.
Yeah.
Like, there's an entire bookcase in the guest bedroom that's just covered in figures as well.
Yeah. AR, where can they find you and what are you up to?
Digimon.firstagent.net is my website. First Agent ARP is my Twitter. I think I'm a little busy. I'm pretty busy this week, so I don't know if I'm going to have anything interesting coming out. We'll see. I have other things going on too, so sorry.
Such a good joke setup, but it'd be mean if I took it.
Which means you totally should.
Yeah. No, I feel like we took the pinata to Wikimon last week enough that it does up the cue of how much we can be mean about something hilariously until it comes across as too mean. Dev, speaking of Wikimon, what article would you like everyone to read? And you're not allowed to say Tailmon.
Nope, I actually have a different one this week. It is going to be Sayo, who was the main character from...
There you go.
Blah, 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 blah. Moonlight.
Moonlight.
Spell that for the people in the audience.
You mentioned Moonlight. You mentioned Moonlight before.
Sayo. So she was also in Cyber Sleuth.
And Hacker's Memory.
And Hacker's Memory. Sayo's a good. Sayo, people like Sayo. There was a cosplay.
Well, to be fair, it's Mimi.
There was a cosplay meetup a couple years ago. There were 2 Sayos at a Digimon meetup at Seneca a few years ago. I was really impressed by that.
To be fair, that is one of...
in the gallery, there's like an Osmaria Dojinshi as well.
Well, the outfit is one of the easier Digimon ones to make without having to do a lot of work. I think the only custom work most people have to do is the hat.
Sure.
Yeah. And I can be found with the will as always. Show up in the Discord and happily argue with us if you'd like. Do we have anything else to say?
I'm hungry. I don't think
so.
Okay. We will catch you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.